It's that time of the year again, folks. 'Tis the season. Season 12 of Jetlag the game, that is. So, as has become a bit of a tradition at this point, let's have a look at the trailer for this upcoming season and see just what we can predict. And let me tell you, it's a tough one this time around. But excuse me, I've been so rude. Hello, I am Eska, I go by Hamfrags online, but more importantly, this is Jetlag the game, a YouTube and Nebula show with the world as its studio. A game where the board is the entire globe, the pieces are actual trains and planes, and the cards, well, the cards are just cards, don't be silly. Every season sees the three players, Sam, Ben and Adam, competing in a geographical game of strategy and deception. And every season they put together a trailer made from clips recorded during that game. And it's here that we come in. Along with a team of other avid Jetlag fans on the Jetlag Discord, I have made a tradition of analyzing the crap out of each and every frame in that trailer. And once again, here I am to showcase our findings. Suffice it to say, this assertion at the start of the new trailer isn't exactly correct. So, the trailer tells us that Season 12 is going to be a new game of hide and seek, set in Japan. We've had a season with a similar game before set in Switzerland, and as you may remember, that turned out to be a quite tricky one to decipher. The game consisted of the players taking it in turn to hide at some train station in Switzerland, and the other two would then function as seekers trying to track them down. Most of the teaser clips from back then, and especially the initial teaser at the end of Season 8, were from the towns that the hiders were hiding in, and not from the path that the seekers took to get there, making it very hard to order the rounds chronologically. You'll remember, I initially got it wrong that season. And of course, the winner of the game didn't depend so much on which routes were taken during the game, but rather how long the hiders managed to hide for. Something that was a lot harder to tell just from the few clips we got in the teasers. This is not to mention the deck of cards that they're playing with in this season, which has the potential to add more time to the clock artificially. We simply have no way of predicting those by looking at the trailer. And so let me break this news right now. I am not going to tell you the winner of this season in this video. Much like with Switzerland, I have no clue. In fact, I am struggling with something much more basic, and if you're watching this after you've already started watching the actual season, it might very quickly become apparent. But we'll get into that later. Right now, I do still want to issue a spoiler warning. I will be spoiling 3 of the hiding spots from the upcoming season in this video. If you want to go in blind to these, I encourage you to quit this video right now and maybe come back later. Having said that, let's go, 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 go! So, as I alluded to before, it can be hard to figure out how the clips from these trailers fit together on a timeline. Even more so than with Season 9 in Switzerland, the locations that we can identify from the clips in this trailer are almost all to be found near the same 3 Japanese train stations. 3 stations where Sam, Ben, and Adam respectively are seen hiding from their seekers. We barely see any clips of the seekers making their way towards those stations, which makes it very hard to draw out the routes on a map. Add on to that the fact that this trailer has a more dark and brooding score, which means there are fewer cuts and ultimately fewer locations shown in this trailer. Not helped by the fact that the teaser at the end of last season only had 4 locations in it. They are not making this one easy. Usually with these trailers, we look at the outfits that the players are wearing, and this helps us figure out which clips were recorded on the same days. But even in this respect, we're hard pressed, as Adam seems to have brought exclusively white shirts with little to differentiate them, and Ben, being Ben, wearing the exact same candy cane colored jumpsuit in almost every clip except for this one. All in all, we're looking at a real challenge of a trailer here. You've done your job well, Jack. Jack McCall? I know you're watching, but even if it's hard, let me make a prediction anyways. A swing and a miss is more fun than a non-committal shrug. I gotta have some skin in this game. It looks like Ben is gonna be the first player to hide, and I do have a couple of pieces of evidence to back up that claim. First, there's the town in which he's hiding. It's called Yamadera, and it's situated on the rail line between the cities of Sendai and Yamagata. It's about a 3.5-hour train journey north of the central train station in Tokyo, which is one of the main reasons I think this is the first hiding spot. The rules explanation in the trailer seems to strongly imply that the game starts in Tokyo, and it also outright tells us that each hider gets 3.5 hours to get to their hiding spot. None of the other hiding spots fit this well within that time frame, so that to me is a strong point towards Yamadera being the first hiding spot. We have these clips of Ben at the center of Yamadera, very close to the train station. By looking at the azimuth of the sun in these clips, we can tell that it's early in the morning, probably about 7:30 or 8 a.m. Which makes sense for day 1, as the boys have tended to like to do their hiding before game time starts at the morning of a recording day. Then there's this clip of Ben from the beginning of the trailer where he does a monologue at the viewer.
Hello,
not unlike the one Adam did at the beginning of the first hide-and-seek season.
Hello!
There's a chance this could be the first shot of the entire season, but it's not quite certain as this clip was recorded at this old shrine up a mountainside trail, quite far from where he would have gotten off of his train. Lastly, one thing that speaks to Yamadera being the first hiding spot of the season is the fact that it is definitely the hiding spot we see the most of. The following clips were all recorded in and around Yamadera. This one is from under a bridge near the start of the trail to that shrine in the forest. This one is from the beautiful mountainside temple complex near the center of the town. I really hope we get to see more of this place in the season because from the pictures I've seen it looks gorgeous, although it does have an entrance fee. There's even this clip of Adam and presumably Sam in Yamadera. The angles of the lighting here makes it look like it was recorded in the evening. All in all, it looks like 7 of the about 23 clips in the teasers were recorded in Yamadera. This would match how typically in these trailers we do tend to see more clips from the first day of shooting. And we seem to have even more clips than this from Ben's first run as hider, namely these ones of Sam and Adam making their way towards Yamadera. I assume these are all from the same day, as Sam is wearing this same light blue shirt in all of them. And then there's this ovoid thing on his wrist. Adam has one too. Enhance. Knowing a little bit about the rules of the game, I have to assume that this is part of some curse card that Ben has drawn to slow them down. Maybe it's an egg that the Seekers are supposed to protect. Whatever it is, it's not going to be as wild as some of the things we speculated on the Jetlag Discord back when we first saw these things in the teaser in October. We were brainstorming that it could be anything from a GPS tracker to a shock collar. My favorite theory is that it's a device that gets warmer as the Seekers get closer to the hider. Well, we've seen that Ben seems to make it to the evening of day 1 at the very least. At some point, he gets found though, and this is where the timeline runs into trouble. So, in order to figure out the next hider up, we need to know the turn order. There are no clips in the teasers that would seem to conclusively show the next set of Seekers on their way from Yamadera to the next hiding spot. So we'll need to look somewhere else to figure this out. Namely, let's look at these 2 clips which seem to be from one of Sam's hiding spots.
I think I hear the train.
The first clip seems to indicate that Sam is hiding right here in this train station tunnel, right as Ben and Adam are arriving on a train. Maybe they sneakily asked for a photo of the train station right as they were about to arrive themselves to catch Sam in the act. And then in this next clip we see Sam and Adam together, wearing different clothing at what looks on Sam's watch like exactly 7:30 in the morning. And they're in the exact same spot where we saw Sam hiding earlier. It looks to me like Sam was found right in this spot, and him and Adam are now resuming the game as Seekers in the morning of the next day. This theory is also corroborated by this tweet from Ben where he shows a bit of his editing window. That's the exact same clip on this screen. Sam's shirt, the flooring, the yellow seating, it all matches. We can also tell by the scroll bar at the bottom of the screen that this is the very beginning of the timeline, and we're looking at the first clip. So I find it highly likely that this is both the beginning to a new round of the game as well as a new episode of the season. Specifically, we're seeing Sam and Adam as Seekers right after Ben and Adam presumably found Sam right here. This means Sam's turn comes before Ben's, giving us a turn order that looks something like this. This is huge. If this is true, then it means Adam must be the second person to have a run as hider. So let's have a look at the place where we see him hiding in the trailer. Adam is hiding in the town of Saruhashi, located in the mountains just west of Tokyo, not too far from Mount Fuji. We see Adam in this town as early as 9:20 in the morning, judging by the sun in this clip. Throughout the day, he makes his way down to the bottom of the valley where we get a couple shots of him by this stream. It seems to be about 2 p.m. in the afternoon in these clips. The trailer also gives us one clip that might be of Sam and Ben as Seekers trying to get to Adam's hiding spot. They're in Atami, right here on the southern coast. We can make out half of a clock face in this clip, and from this we can tell that this was recorded sometime in the afternoon. And that is all we have of Adam in Saruhashi, nothing about how or when he's eventually caught. There is some logic to assuming that this is the run that followed immediately after Ben's capture up in Yamadera. After all, we only see 3 hiding spots in the teasers, so it makes sense that these would be the first 3 ones in the show. And that then leaves us with Sam's hiding spot from the trailer, which would be the one to follow Adam's. Sam is hiding in the most Sam spot imaginable, the Narita Airport, just east of Tokyo. We have 2 clips of him hanging out in the 5th floor of Terminal 1, both of which look like they were recorded in the morning. This shot was recorded right in front of this big window, and if we just enhance, we can see a streak of light hitting the massage chair and Sam's shirt. Again, judging by the azimuth of the sunlight, looks like this was recorded at about 9 a.m. in the morning. And wait, enhance? Enhance more? It's the hole. That's the Slovenian hole in Sam's shirt from season 11.
Oh no, my shirt! I like this shirt.
And that's basically everything we have from Sam's time in Narita. The one other place where we see him here is in the hallway of the train station where we saw him hiding in that other clip we looked at before. And as we saw, it looks like Sam gets caught that afternoon and the game resumes the day after with Ben as the new hider. And so it seems like we are able to at least map out the first 3 hiding spots of the game. The travel time between Saruhashi Station and Narita Airport is perfect as well at just under 3.5 hours. And now that we're at it, what would be the travel time between Yamadera and Saruhashi? Let me just check. Huh. Okay, so it looks like there is no way Adam could have made it to Saruhashi in 3.5 hours from Ben's hiding spot up in Yamadera. That muddles things, makes them not very easy to fit together. The trailer does give us a glimpse of this card here. Move. Send the seekers your location and discard your hand. You have 60 minutes to find a new hiding zone. Could Adam have gotten to Saruhashi with the extra hour that one of these cards would give him? Well, looking at a map, it looks like yes, but barely. If Adam starts his 3.5 hour hiding time within 10 minutes of the train station in Yamadera, then it's possible he might have gotten as far as Nishikokubunji Station in the greater Tokyo area. From here, there does exist ways to get to Saruhashi in under an hour. But this requires such specific circumstances, like would Adam even hide in a urban rail junction like this just in case he happens to draw a move card? It seems unlikely, doesn't it? But then, how could this make sense with the turn order we figured out? Ben before Adam and Sam before Ben? Wait, in their layover podcast, they did seem to imply that Ben was alone during one of the rest periods, probably as the hider, and that Sam was alone the night after that. This implies Ben's turn comes before Sam's and not the other way around. Did we get this turn order completely wrong? But we clearly saw Sam and Adam become seekers after Sam was found, right? Did we not? Maybe it's possible that Ben got found early in the morning and then Adam somehow managed to both hide and get found again, both in the same day? Well, we know that he was already in Saruhashi in the morning, so no, he must have hidden the night before. Does that mean there are 3 whole runs after what we've already seen and that's when this happens? This game apparently took 6 whole days, so maybe? Or does it mean that these 3 hiding spots from the trailer are not the first 3 ones? Are they actually messing with us? Jack, are you messing with me? If these aren't the first 3 runs, then what do we even know for sure? Is it just anything goes? Was Ben even the first hider? What about this mysterious shot of Ben in the train station in Koriyama of all places? Was this his first hiding spot? Are the egg things on their wrists actually shock bracelets? Was this whole thing AI generated? Is this all a dream? So, there are a lot of confusing factors to this equation. But at the same time, perhaps not enough information to put it all together. But let's not end it at that. I might not be able to very confidently back this up with evidence, but allow me to propose a timeline that, at the very least, seems to take into account all that we know. I really would rather believe the more simple explanation that these are just the first 3 hiding spot, Occam's razor and all, and maybe I'm simply overthinking it. But if the simple theory isn't gonna fit with all the evidence, then I'm gonna have to come up with a wilder theory. And this is that theory. I think the game does indeed start with Ben hiding in Yamadera on the first day of the game. As we saw, Sam and Adam do end up making it to Yamadera that evening, but I speculate that they don't find Ben until the morning after. Next, it's gonna be Adam's turn to hide. It's the same turn order we figured out before. The evidence for it, in my opinion, is just too strong. But Adam doesn't hide in Saruhashi on his first turn. He simply cannot make it there in time, even if we take into account his incredible speed. Now follow me here, it would make sense to me strategically if Ben chose to hide in the forest. And in that case, Adam would have to first get down that mountainside and then wait for a train to arrive in Yamadera Station before he could start moving towards a new hiding spot. Considering that, those 3.5 hours of hiding time might not get him that far. And that's why I think Adam ends up hiding somewhere between Yamadera and the Narita airport on his first run. And since I'm already doing all this mad speculation, why don't I make a prediction as to the exact station? Let's go with Asakana Gamori Station, right here on the outskirts of the city of Koriyama. You can get here from Yamadera Station in just under 3 hours. I'm picking a location near Koriyama specifically because that would help us make sense of this clip from the trailer, which I otherwise just couldn't seem to place anywhere on the timeline. It depicts Ben running across the platform for a local train line at the station in Koriyama. This couldn't have been part of his journey to his first hiding spot. He would have passed right through this station on the Shinkansen. But if Adam was hiding down one of these local lines, then this could be Ben returning to Koriyama after finding him, with Adam being next to him somewhere as a fellow seeker just outside of the camera angle somewhere. So I am speculating that Adam's first run here ends up being pretty short time-wise, and he is found on the same day that he hides. I say that because then Sam would be the hider the next night, with Ben having been the hider the night before. And that way we could make sense of that side note from the layover podcast that I mentioned earlier. So we're now on the third run of the game in my speculative timeline, and this is when I would have Sam hiding at Narita Airport. If Adam was indeed hiding at Asakama Gamori Station before this, then this trip would take about 3 hours and 15 minutes. That works. This would now be on day 3 of the game, out of 6, and as we've discussed, Sam seems to stay at the airport from the morning and until the late afternoon, where he's found at the train station. Now, according to the turn order, this would be Ben's turn to hide again, which would bring us to day 4 out of 6. I don't believe we have any clips from this second run of his, so let me just throw out another wild prediction. I think Ben probably goes northwest in the direction of Nagano, maybe somewhere in the Ueda area. I don't know, just a hunch. So at some point, Ben is found, and this is when we would get to Adam's hiding spot in Saruhashi. As we know, we see him there in the morning, which I take to mean that Ben was found sometime at the end of day 4. I do not know when Adam is found on this second run of his, and I do not believe we have any clips from after this. Maybe there's time for Sam to get in one final run as the hider. I don't know. There's time for a lot in 6 days, and there's probably a lot that we haven't seen in these teasers. So there you have it, my full, largely baseless prediction as to the events of this upcoming season. The main thing about this timeline that I'm honestly having trouble believing myself is the fact that it would have the clips of Adam in Saruhashi take place on day 5 out of 6. It just seems so natural that the 3 hiding places they'd show in the trailer would be the first 3 ones, and not one from that late in the game. But I really don't know. Maybe they put a clip from Saruhashi in the teaser back in October just because it looked nice, and then just decided to keep showing us that location in the trailer so as to not spoil anymore. I honestly don't know if they would put that much thought into it. Is Jack even real? Can he hurt me? Ultimately, this whole theory doesn't feel like it's built on evidence as much as it's been stretched out between the evidence like a drum in a desperate attempt to make it all add up. This script has honestly been so tough to put together. My left eyelid has been twitching these last couple of days. I have never had that happen before. This is honestly the least I have ever believed in a theory that I've proposed in one of these videos. But there you have it, my best attempt at fitting all the pieces together. I feel like I've gone complete conspiracy mode with this one. It's going to be real exciting to watch the season now and see just how wrong or right I am. As always, I'm recording this before I get to watch the first episode of the season, so I truly do not know just how embarrassing this is going to be for me. The first episode actually got published 8 minutes ago as of me saying this line right now. And by the way, if there's another teaser at the end of episode 1, I am not making another video about it. Forget it. There were so many different people on the Jetlag Discord server collaborating on this project. It would simply take too long to name and thank you all individually. But here is a hopefully comprehensive list of everyone who engaged in speculation on there. If you would like to join us for the next trailer analysis effort, as always, the link to the Jetlag Discord server is in the description. Please keep all of your spoilery speculation on the dedicated speculation channels. You can access them by getting one of the speculator roles. In the description, you will also find links to all our collective notes on the teasers, as well as the map of all the locations we found. There were 3 clips whose exact locations were never identified, by the way. In just a moment, you'll see a list of usernames on the screen as the video ends. These are my channel members here on YouTube. I just recently started this membership program, and I am so thankful to each of you for your support. If you would like to support the work I do on this channel and in return receive perks like early video access or your name in the credits, then consider becoming a member. You can press the join button underneath this video to see more information about this. In any case, thanks so much for watching this video. Thanks to Sam, Ben, and Adam for another banger season of Jetlag. I predict it's gonna be banger. Have a nice day, and bye-bye.